We were in India 23, the urban community development project that went all to Bombay. My name is Barry Johnson Fay. This is Katie Alexander. We started in the fall of 1965 and trained at the Columbia School of Social Work in New York City, which was culture shock for somebody like me who came from small town Colorado. And we arrived in India in January, middle of January, with about 45 volunteers, all of whom were assigned to different assignments in Bombay. And I'll let Katie talk about some of those assignments. But we were trained to expect that we were all going to be community organizers. We were all going to be Saul Alinsky in one form or another, helping people organize to help themselves. And as with almost all the projects in the Peace Corps, things turned out to be somewhat different than that.
Well, it was totally different than that because we were all placed in closed institutions where we couldn't go out into the community and do what we were trained to do at the Columbia School of Social Work. And I, for example, was placed with the Bombay YMCA to teach swimming. Bombay YMCA had 3 or 4 hostels which were men's living quarters, and the Bombay YMCA where I was placed had a swimming pool built by the International Wise Men, and there was no water in the swimming pool because monsoon had failed. I ended up in a convent, a Catholic convent school, which was also an orphanage, and most of us changed every place where we were placed. We went elsewhere, and living in the convent was with 350 orphans, 1,500 girls who came in daily, and there was plenty to do.
Some of us did get community jobs. My wife and I were in the equivalent of a housing project, but it was a housing project where some people spoke Gujarati, some spoke Maharashtrian, and some Goans spoke Konkani, and a very few people spoke a little English. That was a challenge of being in Bombay because there were very few native Hindi speakers, which is what we all learned to speak. And we either had to learn a second language or just speak very Pakka, Kacha Hindi to try to be understood. And that was a real problem, especially when we were trying to organize people and do things like that. Enough?
Yep. Thank you.